Welcome to our interview with the CEO of Medcan, Micael. This video has been a long time coming, so I apologise for the delays as I've had a cheeky brain operation that delayed things somewhat. It's been a while since we released something like this, so I wanted to get this out there and introduce ourselves to those of you who are new. We produced this interview because we wanted to create a series that helps demystify the UK medical cannabis industry by combining our knowledge of working in this space with supply chain hurdles, compliance and legalities, as well as being a patient myself, seeing a lot of the issues from the patient's perspective. So with this interview, I hope that it helps shed light on what's involved in growing and importing medical cannabis to the UK's medical marketplace. So who are we? We're Infinity CBD. First launched in 2019 at the Hemp and CBD Expo in the NEC, we have since gone on to produce a full line of FSA validated products in our own labs here in Pembrokeshire, ranging from day-to-day supplements to more involved wellness and pampering orientated products. We also provide educational talks and one-on-one training for those wanting to work in the CBD and medical cannabis space, hoping to help expand the UK's medical cannabis industry from the roots up. So without further delay, I want to jump into this interview with you. This was shot toward the end of last year as we finally had a slot available that lined up. So we shot down to London for the day to meet Micael and ask him some questions. When I first heard about you guys, it was a news article, which I'm guessing would have been, you said 2021 is my birthday, so it would have been not long after I'd become a medical cannabis patient. More so than the now what I'm about to speak about was a big issue, although it's still a big issue that you see a lot on the boards. And this is in terms of irradiated cannabis. And that's what piqued my interest, was a lot of the stuff at the time. It was a very small selection. I think maybe we had like 10 to 12 things we could choose from. My experience with a lot of them were very muted, effective, but very muted. So seeing the birthday cake being non-irradiated was a huge plus. It was something that I pursued. But it raised a huge question for me. It was like, well, if you're managing to do it, why is this something that other people seem to,
Yeah.
And from my understanding, working in a lab, trying to do things that ISO standard and working in the MRHA, the assumption is that it's a risk factor in terms of other things, but perhaps you guys have nailed it in terms of, what was it that made you guys go that route? Is there certain hurdles that this has imposed on you, or?
Yes, so patients are aware that there's kind of when it comes to medical cannabis, there's kind of two standards that operate in the UK, from my understanding at least. There's the Pharmacopoeia 5.1.4, and then there's European Pharmacopoeia 5.1.8, and where they differ majorly is on the microbial contamination, as you said. And it mostly comes down to total aerobic microbial contamination and total yeast and mold counts.
Yeah.
And those are the two sort of areas that they differ majorly by factors. And so we hold our importer holds us to the standard of 5.1.4, which means that your contamination count or your total yeast and mold has to be extremely low, like really, really, really low. And as a business, we think that we can differentiate ourselves by meeting those standards.
Yeah.
If you don't meet those standards, then the way to meet or to reconcile those standards is to irradiate.
Yeah.
Which a lot of other flowers have to go through that sort of post-harvest process of irradiating the cannabis, then testing it afterwards and making sure that it hits these standards. How do we go about it? That's our secret sauce. No, in all seriousness, we're a craft cultivator. So if you look at other cultivators all over the world, especially since we're indoor, we're not this huge operation. Yes, we're an industrial size operation. We're operating out of a warehouse, but we don't have thousands and thousands of plants going on at any given time. You walk into greenhouses and you literally can't see the end of the greenhouse because there's so many plants.
Yeah.
And so while our size inhibits us to grow huge quantities in any given batch, it does allow us to sort of take the care and the time with the plants that we need. And I think that is one. I think that is one factor. I think the fact that we've got a fewer number of plants in a room at any given time, there's less chance of things going wrong.
Yeah.
That's kind of where the team sits in terms of thinking, how are we achieving these? Well, what's one of the ways that we're achieving these goals? We don't allow any visitors to Medcan. So like we're very strict when it comes to you're welcome to come to our offices, you're welcome to come and have a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, but like no one's allowed in the flower rooms unless you're a part of the cultivation team.
Yeah.
And culturally, I think that's another big thing. Is like the less pathogens, there's people you're bringing in at any given time, the better. You have to get, as I'm sure you've seen in other facilities, you have to get like fully dressed in gowns and decontaminate yourself and all that kind of stuff. But one of the things is when people ask, can we come see the facility? Yeah, you're welcome to come see it. You can look on the cameras. Like, you're not going into the flower rooms. So I think the size is a big deal. The craft cultivation side of it. I think the culturally, making sure that our employees know how to go in and not allowing visitors is another factor. Yeah. And then there's a few things in between that we were sort of strict on in terms of how we look after our plants, what technology we're implementing. Yeah. But we're holding ourselves. We're gonna, for as long as we can, we're gonna hold ourselves to those standards. The way I explain it to people, and patients may not appreciate this, is it's kind of like when you were at university and you're going through the semester and you're studying all semester, or you're trying to study all semester, and then you come and you write the exam and you just hope and pray that you passed or you got the marks that you want. So like at Medcan, it takes us 3 months to cultivate a crop. We then send it for this robust analysis and testing, and it's really like you wait for 2-3 weeks before you get those results, and you're like, you really hope that the work that you did in those 3 months pays off.
Yeah.
Because you can't see it, right?
No, exactly. Yeah.
So that's kind of the analogy that I give people when it comes to how stressful it is.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that I see a lot is that I speak to a lot of people, and some people are those that either know someone or have been a bit naughty themselves and know a little bit about cultivation, and in their head it's just like, well, if I can do it or someone I know can do it, it's easy. And I'm like, yeah, but repeat that with 200 or 1,000 pounds or whatever it is, consistently, and then try and meet all of these things. It's just a different ball game altogether. So I think it's nice to hear you talk about it that way, and considering that I see you guys are a big player in this industry, to still keep that craft side of it and have that attention to detail is admirable. So thanks, appreciate it as a patient, because it shows in the product. And when I first did get prescribed it, there was a stark difference in terms of what was like left, so to speak, in the pack compared to like other strains that I tried. So
that's good. Yeah, listen, as a business, our goal is to deliver a high quality premium product, craft cultivation. We want to deliver it. We want patients to know that it's been well looked after, it's been well treated, it's given the attention that it needs. And so that's the Medcan sort of ethos, or our culture, is to deliver like a really high quality product and give it as much care and attention that it needs.
Nice. I'm very excited about the new strain. I wish I knew more.
We'll keep you posted.
Yeah, absolutely.